since TVA didn't have it, the National Forest Service does, or something, that it's gone downhill since they.
Well, see, I didn't know that TVA had given that over to the National Forest in the year 2000. I didn't have no idea
that they'd done there, and I didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, did I ever have a problem with them people.
Yeah.
I went up into that area in 2007, and I didn't think about reading the manual, thinking that the rules and everything had changed.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I get in big trouble with them people. The next thing you know, they're trying to accuse me of me being a terrorist. Gonna blow up the Kentucky Dam and shut the Kentucky Dam down. And then about 10 days later, they come back to my campsite. This time I was on the other side of Tennessee River, over by Aurora, and they tried to hook me up towards.
Aurora side is closer to where I live.
Well, that's all private over there.
Well, they said they had stopped some of those. They won't fix it where you can get to the good campsites.
I was over there where that hatchery was. There's a hatchery over there at Aurora.
Yeah.
And I guess it was independently owned, something like Earth Daddies or something like that. But I never would have thought me camping by myself. Done already had my PJs on by myself. I probably wasn't two people in the whole campsite. The only reason why I took it was because it was cheap. They rented it out for like $2 a night. Well, for 30 nights, that's $60, and it's got hot water and a shower and bathroom and stuff. Here I am, about to sleep, and all of a sudden my red tent starts glowing, and the first thing I thought of was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. All of a sudden I heard somebody say, Mr. Jackson, we know you're in there. Come out with your hands up.
Oh, good.
So whenever I come out, I promise you, there was about 7 or 8 big Crown Victoria LTD vehicles with them real bright lights on, and every one of them was running and had their lights shine directly at my campsite. Well, you know good and well that just invited every freaking mosquito and bug you could think of for a mile away. So here I am out there defending myself, telling them I don't know where y'all getting this information from, but wherever it's coming from, it's inaccurate, because I don't have I didn't even have a lighter. Trying to accuse me of me going to blow up the Kentucky Dam.
That is like Barney Fife.
It is, and I got a record of it, because there was 2 deputies from that county. What county is that?
Callaway or.
Yeah, it's on the south end. It's the same. The Murray is the seat.
Well, Callaway then.
Callaway County, 2 deputies from Callaway, 2 sheriff deputies.
I thought it might be Trigg County, but they'd be on the other side.
Right.
This is Callaway.
State trooper, 2 TVI agents, a FBI agent, and a supervisor, and every one of them was driving a different vehicle.
Oh, yeah, and who's paying for all that?
You know who's paying for all that. But you know what would have happened to me if I would have said, "Oh yeah, I got plans on blowing up the dam." You know what would have happened to me?
You would have been in prison in about 10 minutes.
In about 10 minutes, or either that or in a Looney Tune house, one or the other. Because if they think that you're going to do something like that,
and don't even
it's over. It's over.
That's crazy.
Well, not only did they do that to me, but
they ought to have been able to tell.
That was in 2007. I go back up into that area in 2009. They handcuffed me. Hadn't been up there 15 minutes. Handcuffed me.
Must look like a terrorist.
Take me to Paducah, Kentucky, in front of a federal judge.
Oh.
Another public defender out of Louisville, Kentucky, by the name of Wildersburg. Real name. Come up there and he said, well, they think there's something wrong with you. If you agree to go get studied, they won't do nothing to you if you come back and everything's okay with you. I said, well, I don't think there's nothing wrong with me. So sure enough, I went. You know where they took me? They took me to downtown Chicago.
Are you shit?
No, I'm right there on Riverside Drive. I can see the Sears Tower across from me, like 2 blocks over.
Why would they do that?
I stayed in that, incarcerated in there for 5 months and 29 days. They can't hold you for no longer than 6 months on doing a psychological study. And whenever it all come back,
Yeah.
A plus, A plus, A plus. The judge actually had to stop and he had
They
to
already
commend me.
had to pay
He said, Mr. Jackson, we owe you an apology. He said, out of all the people that I've ever had to do this with, he said, you scored 100% on everything. He said, they did not have not one problem out of you. I said, well, I didn't think they would.
Them till they paid you. That is crazy.
And then they done it again 2 years after that, but this time they went after me on the state. They got Dwayne Camry, which he was the captain out there, badge number 1414. Gary Hawkins and Lisa Hawkins. Lisa Hawkins was a dispatcher out there. They got them two to come together after they put out 2 federal warrants for my arrest of stalking in the 1st degree. You know what?
What were you stalking, the fish?
I made 2 telephone calls in the span of a 90-day period. Telephone call number 1 went to LBL to the headquarters. Telephone call number 2 went to Gary Hawkins. And they was in a span of about 90 days. Well, how do you can't even get telephone harassment out of that, much less stalking.
No.
Well, that's what they went after me for. And did you know that they forced me, they didn't ask me, they forced me to go this time before a state panel. I went all the way up on the other side of Louisville, Kentucky, in a little town called LaGrange, Kentucky.
Yes.
And that's where their
That's where there's a prison too.
That's where their state facility, their mental health facility is. I go in there and within 24 hours, the doctor comes in there and looks at me. He goes, I think you got a problem and I'm going to order for you to take this particular drug. I said,
gosh.
I looked at him, I said, whenever they arrested me, I was doing auto body work in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, making about $2,000 a week. I said, what you people ought to do is release me so I can go back working and start paying back taxes again. No, you ain't gonna do it. And then finally I retaliated and I said, well, I ain't gonna take your drug. He goes, what? I go, I ain't gonna take your drug. I don't have to take it. He goes, well, you just stand right there for a minute. He come back at me 3 days later and had a stack of paperwork that thick where Judge Woodall had signed off on over in Cadiz, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Cadiz, Kentucky. Judge Woodall,
It's Trigg County.
Trigg County, said give it to him, and if he don't take it voluntarily, tie him down to a gurney and force it up him.
Oh my God.
And I was making $2,000 a week in Oklahoma.
They don't care anything about anybody that works.
Could you only imagine if they was to have done everybody that way?
Yeah. That's
What they done, they jumped boundaries because anytime a warrant is signed on you, if it's like a civilian warrant, like a bad check or something like that, basically they don't have the authority to go beyond the boundaries of Kentucky. Well, they done it on a charge of stalking. That way it gave the long arm of the law that much more of a long arm, and they actually went all the way to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, had me arrested in Oklahoma. I stayed in there for like 9 days before they finally brought somebody out and hauled me back to Kentucky over 2 non-threatening telephone calls. 2 non-threatening telephone calls in the span of 90 days.
And this is all, not only was it affecting you, but how much did all that cost?
Oh.
Or nothing.
Oh, that ain't an amount of money that really and truly you can put on it because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They put you, basically run you through the mill, and sure enough, within about 4 days, that doctor was starting to give me Risperdal, and come to find out, the drug Risperdal the company has been sued all over the United States because it's a bad drug and it causes obesity and breast enhancement. Well, guess what it done to me?
Breast enhancement, I guess.
Breast enhancement. Guess what it done to me? It changed my weight level from 240 to 340 in less than 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh,
I mean, it just fell on me like that. Well, here I've had a old injury. I fell off a 4-story building because I used to hang out red iron. I was doing construction work whenever I was a teenager, and I fell off a 4-story building and I broke both my legs and crushed both my ankles.
Yeah.
Crushed 3 vertebrae in my back, ruptured 2 discs, broke both arms. Laid in the hospital 6 weeks, 3 days flat on my back.
No.
Well, because of all that excess weight, it caused this left ankle right here to blow out
Yeah.
And you talk about in pain. Oh my God.
Well, they
I
already
was
had
in
to pay
pain
for all
from
of it.
20 and 14 up until just last year, which was 20 and 23, and I went to Clarksville and I had it operated on, and they went in and took out all the arthritis and all the cartridge,
Yeah.
and they basically fused your left ankle to your left leg
Yeah.
to where the movement that I have now is basically just in my arch,
Yeah.
but I ain't pain no more. But look at the aggravation that I went through
Yes.
over that.
And the money you lost.
Now I have managed to lose 100 pounds just within the past year. I had got
Lord.
up to 367 pounds. I was knocking on 400. And that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Because you know good and well they knew my background pertaining to my
Yeah.
history,
Oh,
my
yeah,
medical
they knew
history. They
everything
knew all
about
that.
you.
And they also knew about that drug.
Yeah.
My son said, Dad, they've done that intentionally.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Wanting that weight to come up on you, wanting you to be in severe pain.
Yeah.
But that just gives you an idea about Trigg County. Why are they so strange over there?
I don't know.
And I'm going to tell you something else.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to tell you something
We
else.
used to go over there and go fishing.
Did you?
And we hadn't been in years.
Trigg County didn't have a jail, so you know where they was jailing me at?
No telling.
Hopkinsville. Every
Where
time
the
I went to go
sanitarium
see
is.
the attorney for a hearing, they had to load me up in a bus and drive me from Hopkinsville to Cadiz, Kentucky, which is about 35 miles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a bus.
Yeah.
And then they got to load you back up and take you back to Hopkinsville.
Oh, good.
They done that probably within a span, because they basically took almost a year out of my life out of 2 non-threatening telephone calls. That I went back and forth from Hopkinsville to Cadiz, from Cadiz to Hopkinsville probably at least every bit of a half a dozen times, maybe even more like a dozen times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't have a house. Well, guess what Hopkinsville, Kentucky presented to me? As I was walking out the door, here, Mr. Jackson, you owe us $9,727 for room and board. Over 2 non-threatening telephone calls?
Yeah.
What's wrong with them
And they
people?
probably had somebody over there that was really going to do something that they let go.
Well, it was Gary Hawkins and his wife Lisa Hawkins that lived in Trigg County. I had no idea where they lived. I didn't want to know where they lived. Still don't want to know where they live. And they put down on the report, because they changed the report after they got me incarcerated. They changed it from a federal status to a state status.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it should have been all along if
Yeah.
they was going to do something like that. But see, they know that if they'd done that, they wouldn't have the long arm towards reaching out there and grabbing me. They was wanting to teach me a lesson.
Yeah.
They was wanting to teach me a lesson because I'd done already made somebody mad up there in LBL. That's what it was. Matter of fact, my attorney representing me at that time was Flemings. Miss Flemings come to me. She said, Mr. Jackson, I've listened to that tape and I've read your report. She said, you hadn't done nothing wrong.
No.
And I looked at her, I said, you're absolutely right, Miss Flemings. I go, if anything, this is double jeopardy, because they've already done put me through the mill one time towards me having to go all the way up to Chicago and be in study, and I turned out I made solid A's. I said, now they're coming after me again.
Yeah.
But this time, they didn't just come after me. This time, they poisoned me.
Oh my gosh.
And that's because, why?
They didn't want you talking.
No, because they didn't want me talking, number one. And number two, it was my dad that got me on the radar, because I've been going back and forth to LBL. I think LBL's beautiful.
Yes.
I think it's beautiful.
Well,
I
it
think
would
what
be if
happened,
it
I think
was
what
kept
happened to
up.
them people was ugly,
Yeah.
towards taking all their property away from them, basically
Yeah.
giving them, what, $25 an acre or something like that. But I think LBL is beautiful. And a matter of fact, I have spent in total over a whole year or better living like Jeremiah Johnson, out in the woods, living primitive, because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Loved being out in the nature. I camped a lot. Well, my wife and I camped a lot in the north end of LBL.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
Close to Paducah.
Yeah. Well, no, closer to Grand Rivers.
Yeah.
Grand
Grand
Rivers.
Rivers or Jonathan Creek, around in there.
And then my favorite spot was over around Sugar Creek,
Yeah.
which was
We
about
had fished
halfway.
over there.
And then I also spent a little time over there at Wranglers.
Yeah.
where all the cowboy and western
Well, they
guys?
say now that they can't hardly get in and out of there. That they've got it where they can't, like four-wheelers and stuff go in there and tear it up, and they don't enforce them staying out. They're supposed to stay in like a Turkey Bay area, and they don't. They just get out and ride wherever they want.
Well, I bought a camper off of a guy that bought a camper off of a woman that was riding a horse out there. And the reason why, I'm pretty sure, is because, like you said, they don't maintain the trails, they don't maintain the roads, and she wound up hitting some loose gravel, and that horse flew out from underneath her and wound up on top of her and busted her hip up, and she only camped in the camper twice.
Oh, hey.
It was a brand new 2014 Pluma camper
What
RV.
I've read on the internet, they don't want anybody over there. That means they might have to do something, and they don't want to do anything.
Well, you know that there's still a big stink up there around family members that are protesting all that towards what went on with their people, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what their end goal is?
No, I don't.
Okay, they're wanting enough generations to die out to where people will forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
That way they won't have such of a resistance movement.
Yeah.
And basically, that's going to be, or was planning on being, a golden nugget for West Kentucky, pertaining to privatizing that and opening it back up to the public.
It would be nice.
What you know what a lot would sell for up there looking at the Tennessee River? $30,000-$40,000 with a bare lot.
Yeah.
Not no $30 or $40 an acre.
Well, my son he just sold a house that was on Kentucky Lake, beautiful. view
200,000?
and all that. Well, the house was there. It was over $1 million.
Really?
He just sold
Wow.
the house. Because we farmed, and he was going to start farming, and he sold his house so he could.
Have enough assets to be able to start into it good.
Well, and it was further from where we lived. It took us 30 minutes to get down there, and he said he wanted to be back home, back in our area. So he just sold it.
This place up here is nice, but to me, the nicest one is Pickwick.
Yeah.
You go to Pickwick and travel up down them rivers and see some of them houses, and it's got them elevators where they can pick up their whole boat and set it over here, and then take the elevator and go all the way up to their house.
Yeah.
That's some nice real estate down there at Pickwick, I think.
No telling.
Ain't no telling what it costs though.
No. It
But I think the reason why that they picked on me was because I made myself too open.
Yeah.
And I got on their radar screen, and the next thing you know, they got to thinking, well, what's he spending so much time up here for? He may be one of the people that's been protesting about what went on back in the 30s or the 40s, and the next thing you know, he's probably up here homesteading. See, I didn't know this, but there's still a homesteading law in Frankfort, Kentucky, to where if you can prove that you've been on a piece of property for a certain length of time, it belongs to you.
No, they don't.
That's the reason why they're so strict in making sure that you don't stay on a campsite no longer than, 21 days or something like that. You got to move and stay gone for at least 7 days, and you got to go at least a mile away from the original campsite before you ever come back. They're scared to death that they're going to lose that, see? And like I said, that's their long-term plan of a golden nugget towards privatizing that and turning it back into a private entity.
Then it's really going to get bad if they try doing that, because there's too many.
Well, the people by and large in the 30s and the 40s, whenever all that went, well, actually the last sellout was during Kennedy's assassination, right before he got assassinated, which some people believe that could have been the reason why he got assassinated. I don't know if you've ever heard that or not.
I haven't. Never have heard
Well,
of that.
if you look at Kennedy's assassination versus whenever Kennedy and Bobby flew over the ground and basically declared it a total loss towards turning it over to the wildlife refuge, it wasn't but about 35, 40 days.
I wanted him gone, and by George, he got it. This one might get all that dug out.
Well,
Somebody
the ones in there right now, I think he means well. I think he's trying to do the proper thing.
I was afraid to say anything, but I thought you'd be that kind.
I'm
afraid to say anything
I
to
don't care
anybody.
who it is right now. You put in the office, in the federal office right now,
Yeah.
the people are going to dislike them.
Why? He can't.
People are going to dislike them. You know why? Because the federal government is now starting to put their foot down
Yeah.
towards showing their strong arm, and the people don't like that. No, they don't like that. But the
I
thing
wish
about it
it
is,
could
whenever
be.
you have governors, whenever you have mayors, whenever you have people that's taking our own United States property and turning it into exempt towards these illegal immigrants coming
Yeah,
over here,
Yeah.
and basically having what do they call it, sanctuary cities and sanctuary
Yes.
towns and sanctuary states. That's against the law. So whenever Donald Trump talks about the enemy being from within,
Yes, it is.
it is.
It is.
It is. There's too many liberals in this country.
And I can't hardly talk to anybody that's liberal. We don't talk their kind of language. They're just.
But I'm telling you, LBL, if you ever cross them, they can make your life miserable
I imagine. They're.
because they're a federal
Yeah.
national entity.
Donald Trump, hear a story like that, he would jerk a kink in somebody's tail. He would get their attention.
You know, whenever that ice storm hit up there, what year was that?
Well, we had two, I think.
Well,
One that was in the 70s.
no, this one, the recent one, 209, wasn't it?
I think you're right. I think it
209. I mean, it shut them down. It
Yeah.
shut y'all down.
Yes.
Y'all got like 3.5 inches of ice, 4 inches of
Yes.
ice. I went over to Grand Rivers, Kentucky. I just stopped my job, put all my tools up, and went over there purposely to do free humanitarian work with
Yeah.
chainsaws and not charge nobody
Yeah.
a penny and helping people out, because a lot of them
Yeah.
people done without electricity for a couple months.
Yeah.
I'm up there in Grand
We
Rivers,
actually-
Kentucky, and somebody spotted me and realized who I was, and they run me
Oh.
out of Grand Rivers, Kentucky after me working with the volunteer fire department for about 4 or 5 days. They loved me to death because I was out there hustling. I mean, we was filling up generators, cutting down logs, knocking on people's homes and telling them we got a warm shelter down here and some food. Y'all come on down, don't sit up here and freeze to death.
Yeah.
Well, I got out of that area of Livingston County and went to the opposite side of Livingston County, over there where the Ohio River comes down. I don't forgot the name of it, Cartersville or something like that.
I can't remember. My husband knows all that stuff.
All right, I find a church. I help a preacher out all day long. He accommodated me that night. I went to sleep in the church. The following next morning, there was 2 Livingston County deputies come up there and said, "We want you out of this county right now, and if you hesitate to not leave, we're going to throw your ass in jail." They took a deputy with one car and a deputy in another car, and they transported me all the way out of that area over into Paducah with an ice storm. We're talking about emergency. We're talking about the governor had declared emergency pertaining to all that situation down in there. I couldn't find nothing in Paducah, so I wound up going to Mayfield, Kentucky, and I got lucky. I hooked up with a crisis center out of Atlanta that had come down there with 2 big 18-wheelers, and man, whenever they opened them up, it wasn't nothing but big kitchens. I was stirring pots almost half as big as this freaking table right here. You could probably, we were feeding anywhere from 4,500 to 5,000 in every setting, and I stayed up there with them until the lights come back on. I stayed up there with them for over a month.
Thankfully, we had a generator, so it's harder for me to think exactly when it was because we had electricity.
It was January, first part of January is whenever it hit.
Yeah, usually about the time you think maybe it's going to get better, that's when it gets bad.
But you couldn't have drawn a line any straighter from Kentucky to Tennessee. Tennessee got all rain, Kentucky got all freezing rain. Matter of fact, the southern end of LBL was still open on the Tennessee side. Yeah.
No, I did not know. Well, maybe I did.
They're mean. They're mean people. They
Yes,
really
they
are.
are.
I ain't just talking about going to punish somebody or reprimand somebody or give them a fine.
Well,
them people wanted to put me away for life.
You would think you would get one warning, and at least. I mean, at least God gives you chances.
They put it out on all them radio stations around Benton and Calvert City and all them areas. Because whenever I was passing out Bible literature, this is what happened the first time. Whenever I was passing out Bible literature, expressing to the church members that God had shown me that there was going to be massive electrical disturbances. This was in 2007. I go from Grand Rivers to Benton to Calvert City and kept going until I wound up at Paducah. You know what I was greeted with in Paducah? About 10 different officers with guns.
Gosh.
With guns. They throw me in the back car. They put me over in Paducah jail. I've been in there for probably about 2 or 3 hours, and all of a sudden, this white-headed guy had real nice clothes, looked good and stuff. He comes in there and talks to me. He said, "Miss Jackson, do you have any idea what this is all about?" I said, "No, I don't." I said, "I wish somebody would explain. What have I done?
Tell you what was going on.
Please tell me what's going on." He pulled out this piece of paper. He said, "Do you identify this piece of paper?" And I looked at it. I said, "Yeah, I was passing those pieces of paper out." I said, "What's wrong with it?" Well, right now they have shut down the Kentucky Dam, and they're looking for bombs because they're thinking that you're going to create an electrical disturbance. I go, where in the hell did they get that at in this?
Yeah. Good grief.
They wound up sending me from there, got 2 state troopers, took me to Mayfield, Kentucky, to Four Rivers Behavior Center at 1 o'clock at night.
Mickey Mouse place.
1 o'clock at night, got a registered doctor out of the bed. She comes in there and she interviews me for about an hour, and she looks at me, she said, "Mr. Jackson, you ain't done nothing wrong." She said, "They need to let you go." Well, they let me go, which was about 4:30 that end of that morning. They let me go, but they just dropped me off, didn't care whether or not I was at foot or whatever, because they'd done already confiscated my vehicle at Post 1. So the following next morning, I go to Post 1. I demand for my truck. I said, there never was no charges placed in my life. I'm not under no type of order, no type of doctor's order. I said, can I have my truck back?
If you pay for storage, probably.
Well, they said you can have it back if you pay the toll bill, which was about $170.
Yep.
And did you know that they was going to get ill with me if I either didn't shut up, go away, or if I didn't pay that money? You talking about being railroaded? How can you be railroaded any worse than that?
There ought to be somewhere somebody finds out about that and it don't
LBL, I'm telling you, don't cross them people. Don't cross them. And I've heard horror stories like people trying to pick, yellow buttercups, and them charging a $500 fine for doing stuff like that, or leaving a piece of paper. You put a nail in a. They're trying to make people's life miserable around there.
They just want everybody to go away and leave them alone. Apparently.
They don't want to repair the roads.
No.
They don't want to accommodate the people.
They spend enough money transporting you and harassing you that they could have fixed roads.
Probably. At least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
But it was unbelievable what I went through with them people.
It sounds like it.
From 2007 up until about 2012 was the last time I had an event. And I don't go back into there.
Well, I don't blame you.
Whenever you have a bunch of people that's out to basically Shanghai you like that, I'd be a fool to go back up in there.
If some foreign country comes over here and bombs them down, they'll be looking for you.
Or I'd go up in there and them identifying who I was, and this time they'd say, well, we're going to get him this time for sure, because there ain't going to be no witnesses to just come up there and blow my freaking head off.
Well, if you just come
and act like that they done it out of defense, or maybe say, well, he committed suicide or something. So I'd be a fool to go up there right now.
Yeah.
I'd be a fool. But I haven't never had nothing to...
If you were an illegal alien, they would open the doors for you, give you some money, furnish you a place to stay,
give me an Obama phone and
Yeah.
a whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
This country has been taken over.
It has.
It has been invaded from the inside out, and I think it began with the assassination of Kennedy because our politicians started going backwards.
I'm not sure
They started giving the farm away.
That deep state stuff started.
But you take a country that claims to be a Christian nation, right?
Yes.
And here we are supplying not millions but billions of dollars to over 100 little countries, basically telling them that it's okay to support LKQ,
Oh, yeah.
whatever it is, community, and if you
It's a
want
word about, letters about that long.
LJPQ
Yeah.
community or something like that, and
And
whenever
that
you're
there
giving
is-
money away, knowing what they're doing,
Yeah, why would you
and you're
do
supposed to be a
that?
Christian nation,
Yeah.
you know the Bible says don't take your pearls and throw them before the swine. It says no doubt we're supposed to feed the hungry. It
Yeah.
says no doubt we're supposed
But
to take care of
there's
the
a difference
needy.
in
There's
feeding the hungry
That's
and-
right. That's right. People that's abusing you. So I'm glad Donald Trump's in there, and I wish him the best. I really
I
do.
wish he could stay. They'll kill him.
I hope that they don't kill him.
I can't believe that they haven't.
Did you know that boy that shot at him, that if that gun would have been over just
Yes.
one little half a hair
Yeah.
more, with it being that far out, it would have took his head off.
Well, our preacher at church said he
It
thought
had-
that was godly. That was a God's
It almost
plan.
took his ear off.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And they were just laughing about that. Like
Well,
it was
not
nothing.
only that, but the audience around there had already detected that guy being up there on
Yes,
the building
and was wondering
for like
why-
4 or 5 minutes before it ever took place.
Well, I think they spotted him like 20 minutes before, but they couldn't get anybody to go check on him. They just let that.
Talk about
they
lax.
let that happen.
Talk about being lax. I
Yeah.
think that was purposely done.
And
Don't you?
then that other guy that tried to shoot him on his golf course thing. Why did they not have security out around?
They're supposed to check out the perimeter
Yes.
days or weeks before they ever go in there and figure out where
Yeah.
that president's going to be.
Oh Lord, here comes a sheriff.
They're supposed to
They may
have.
know you're here.
They're supposed to have drones and everything else out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And when they were first showing it, I could see him laying on the roof and me at home watching it on TV.
On TV.
You could see it.
I think originally their plans was that first shot
Yeah.
was
That
go-
gonna take
was
him
was
out.
going to take him out, and then they was going to assassinate the guy that done the shooting. Kind of similar to what happened
Yeah.
to Harvey Arwaz or whatever it was down there. Oswald down there in
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. If you're dead, you can't talk.
Yep.
That old Joe
Dead man
Biden.
won't talk. Will
Yeah. That old Joe Biden, that made me sick. And that son, now they're saying that he's broke, don't have any money.
They're all
The
liars.
son,
You got to the point you can't believe none of them.
no. And that old James Comey that we knew he was lying, now they proved that that was a lie.
So what do you do about stuff like that, man?
I don't know.
It's like we've been invaded.
Yeah.
It's
there's
about time
liberals.
for a revolution, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. I hate to say it, but it's
Those-
about time for a revolution here in
those-
America.
You tell a liberal that James Comey was, well, he lied the entire time. Joe Biden lied. They wanted him because he was crazy, and they used the
You know, you
auto
can be
pen.
crazy like a fox, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Just because
I
you
think
can
she
read
might
and write,
have been.
you can drive, you can bathe yourself and put your clothes on, don't mean you ain't touched
No.
off in the head.
Anybody with one eye and half sense could see that man didn't need to be where he was.
Elevator didn't go all the way to the top.
Well,
But-
and that son
but
is as crooked as.
But you be careful up there around LBL because they've got a very, very sore spot. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with that takeover whenever they finally went in there and
Yeah.
took them all over. I think the last one that got out of there was what, 1971 or something like that.
Yeah.
But you keep in mind that those people took it on the cheek on the Tennessee side, they took it on the cheek on the
Yeah.
Cumberland side, and then they took it on the cheek for the federal side.
Yeah.
They got hit 3 times in a generation, basically.
Well,
From the 30s or the late 20s or 30s up until basically 1963 whenever Kennedy flew over there.
Yeah.
So they was pushing them all away from their property.
now there's been people on the internet that said they had relatives that were buried over there, and they're supposed to have access to their cemeteries, and that they can't get to them. And if you complain to the Forest Service, that they just
You know, whenever that tornado hit up there at Kentucky and
Yeah,
killed
in
all them
Mayfield.
people, it come up right in the north part of Hillman's Ferry. I went up there about 6 months after that, and I got to looking around, and they was harvesting those trees, which was a good thing.
yeah.
That was a good thing. and they was putting them on trucks and selling it for wood.
Yeah.
Well, what if they? Who
Nobody
gets that
ever
money?
said.
Who gets that money?
Yeah.
And how come that money ain't applied towards fixing the roads and
Yeah.
taking care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of? I mean, a business is a business, and you got to run it like a business.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with going in there and cutting some of the timber and clearing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't believe in stripping it, but
Yeah.
clearing it a little bit, especially if a tornado goes in there and just ravages it.
Well, no telling what has gone on over there that we'll never know.
Never know. Ain't no
Not
telling
in
what's
my
went
life.
on. Ain't no telling what's went on that we don't know
Yeah.
about towards how many people
Yeah.
got
Yeah. If you-
probably got killed
Yeah.
because they wanted to fight for their property.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact there was a movie that come out, the first buyout on the Tennessee side where they flooded.
Yeah.
There was a few of them that died with the flood. They wasn't going to move.
Yeah, they didn't move.
They wasn't going to move.
Yeah. There was a cemetery out in the wintertime when the light got real low. Our son, from his house, it was on a point, and you could see that old cemetery, and they went out in a boat one day when it was nice enough they could get out in the winter, and the lake was real low, and they went out there.
I couldn't tell you the amount of times that I've been out there at night by myself, down by the river, and all of a sudden I'd hear something. Couldn't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah.
Got to looking, you know what it was? A Black Hawk helicopter from over at Fort
Oh,
Campbell,
yeah.
hovering over the water, probably doing exercise, whatever, just
Yeah.
probably within about a half an inch of the water right there,
Yeah.
just sitting there just purring.
Yeah.
So they do
They do a lot
exercise.
of training
They
over
do
there.
exercises out that way all the time.
Yeah. I had a friend she was a friend and she worked for me and my husband, and she said at night, they lived on the lake, and she said at night she would watch them and they'd jump out of the helicopter and then they'd pick them up doing the training stuff. She said it was really interesting to watch how they did all that.
Yeah, it is. Especially whenever they're doing it and there ain't even a light on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how much money's in them freaking helicopters?
No, Phil.
Millions.
Yeah.
Millions. All that equipment in there, millions.
Well, I
And that's our money.
yes.
That's our
No,
helicopter.
they had forgot about all that. That's theirs.
Ma'am, it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name
You
is
too.
Dennis Jackson.
Dennis Jackson.
God bless you.
I'm Joyce Houston. It's spelled like Houston. Robert's family came from LBL.
Okay.
They were farmers there,
Okay.
and it's been over 100 years that his family
They
has been
just
in
tore
farming.
families apart, didn't they?
Yeah,
Over stupidity.
yeah,
I can see.
But we're
I can see the
still-
first buyout
yeah,
pertaining to the TVA. I can see the
Yes.
second buyout,
but not.
not the third. No.
No,
They done them
Robert's
people
family,
wrong.
We are still on the original farm place when they came from between the rivers and started farming.
Has anybody ever told you about Birmingham? The town of Birmingham that they flooded right off on just, I guess it'd be just north of Aurora, going up there towards Benton, right there where that camping place
yeah.
is right there. They said that whole town got submerged right there. Churches,
Really?
courthouses,
If you can
everything.
go back far enough, and now they don't let those maps go out very much. They used to give them out, and you could see where places years ago when Robert and I got married in '67, and in that time you could get maps. Now you can't get those.
They don't want you to know where all that stuff is.
Because we'd go fishing, and you got where you could have those depth finders, and you could find some of that stuff, but they stopped that.
Right.
They didn't want more going out.
Well, you have a good
Yes.
day.
I didn't know my hand was clammy.
Ain't that,
Everything's-
ain't that some beautiful clouds?
It is.
That's God's creation.
Yeah, and how often do we sit down and just look at it and enjoy
Oh,
it?
that's God's
Always.
creation. They claim something's fixing to take place on the 15th, which is what, tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
Be watching the skies, man.
I'll be on.
Be watching the
And
skies.
you know, Trump's going to meet Putin tomorrow.
I know that.
There's so many people against that man. There is no way that one human being, he could invent a cure for every ailment. He could be Jesus, and they would find something wrong
Oh,
with him.
they'd execute him.
Yeah.
They'd execute him. And
It
the
all
whole time,
goes back.
did you know that he ain't drawn out one red cent? As far as the check.
And he's paying for that ballroom that he's going to add on to the White House. I'm glad he's doing that stuff.
I like
it up.
the fact that he finally put up a big flag like they put in these big
know.
dealerships. That should have been done 25, 30, 40 years ago.
Or 100 years ago.
A big flag like that.
Yeah. And he paid for that.
He did.
Yes. He said he was paying for that himself. He wanted that out there.
I think God's got his hand on him.
He did when that shooting happened, both times.
I think God's got his hand on him. And it's going to take somebody like that to get this thing turned around. And even then, we ain't going to turn it around overnight. You know
No,
that.
Yeah.
It's going to take a generation
But
to turn it
think
around.
of how much he has done
Oh,
in
God.
7 months.
What are
Hadn't
you
even
talking
been
about?
8.
All of them hate him up there because he don't play by their
They
little.
can't buy him.
Yeah, he's not a puppet. They don't own him.
They wanted Joe Biden for that reason. He was a puppet.
Uh-huh. As far as I'm concerned, Hillary Clinton needs to go to jail over that thing guys he did.
Yes, she should.
Let all them people die.
Yeah, she didn't care. It's all about the mighty dollar and the power.
And laziness.
Yeah.
Selfishness. Greed.
And all the money her daughter got. I forgot how many. It was like 7.
Well, if the truth be known, pretending that weirdo guy, that
Epstein.
perverted guy, Epstein guy,
Yeah.
I think Bill Clinton's been going over there too.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling how many people been going over
Something that I
there.
read the other day said that
Big wigs.
that was the reason that wasn't being brought out is Clinton. And see, they're saying that Trump is doing this stuff with Putin, and he's distracting us from the Epstein files because he's in there. That's BS. Clintons have got a hold on everything.
Not only that, but Obama.
Yeah.
The Obamas are still
Yes.
running the country.
Yeah.
If you
And
think
came
about it,
in, and he didn't have as much money. I don't know that he even had. It's like $500,000 now. He's worth like million, like big millions.
yeah. Well, he wasn't nothing but a community organizer up there in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's all he was. He worked for the city. Community organizer.
We hadn't been right since he had his nut in there.
Well, not only that, but the name itself. Why would you want to put somebody in
That was
power?
what we
That was
said.
the name of the main terrorist
Yeah.
that hit 9/11.
That's what I can remember telling my husband. What is wrong with us? Just got bombed by one named that, and then one president that
And then
way.
it was the Supreme Court that legalized the LGBTQ community, the same-sex
Plus.
marriages. The Supreme Court that done that in
Yes.
See? So, hey, all this
It's
stuff that's
all-
happening to us, these floods, these fires, these tornadoes, all this bad stuff, that's why.
Well, there's,
That's why.
you know, some of those liberals that said that was Trump's doing. If there was a flood, it was because of Trump and climate change.
Trying to blame it on the government as far as snatch and grab land deal, kind of like what happened up there in East Tennessee and North Carolina.
Yeah.
They said the government had something to do with that because it had minerals up inside of them mountains.
Yes, I've heard that.
Some of the craziest stuff that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had control over Mother Nature, that meant that you had control over God. And you know
Yes.
good and well you don't have
No.
control over God.
That's what Robert and I keep thinking, maybe God is going to do something with this. I don't know what.
I think
but
there's
we'll have a plan.
I think there's going to be an uprising. I think we're due for a revival, and I think there'll be a remnant of people that will come out of this, and it's probably going to be the younger ones. It's probably going to be those that, in their 20s or 30s or whatever.
That don't want to work.
Well, I don't know. Right now, there's a movement pertaining to a revival going on
maybe
pertaining
they
to the
will.
youth.
It's
Because they can see, they ain't stupid. They can see whenever
Yeah.
a nation is this far behind and going this way.
Yes.
They're not stupid.
no.
They may be young, but that don't mean they're stupid.
Well, like they're saying on TV that they some of the liberals will say, well, some of their buddies that are liberals will say, all of this needed to be done. They just didn't want Trump to do it. What difference does it make?
Exactly. It never should have gotten this far out of hand to begin with.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Is your
Well,
husband still living?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he is. He still farms every day, and he does crop dusting. Our son did that
Right.
every day. Robert farms and then does crop dusting when he's not farming.
I bet him. Over there in that restaurant over at Murray's got the big cow. Somebody was in.
Sirloin stockade.
Yeah, stockade. Yeah, somebody was in there that done that crop dusting. Had 2 other guys with him.
I bet it was him.
I bet it was.
He has a thigh wing.
Kind of a big guy.
No, he's not too big.
I mean, not big as far as fat, but
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah, he's 6
200,
foot,
probably
weighs
200
about
pounds.
Close to that.
Yeah.
Might have been him. If
Maybe.
it was a crop duster.
He was a crop duster.
Because he's the only one around there.
That's him, man. That's
Has
him.
a yellow plane.
And that's your son.
Yeah, my husband and my son
I'm done.
did that. They want Robert to do it, my husband to do it more, but he's 76, soon to be 77 years old.
He's ready to
Nah.
consolidate, ain't he, and start enjoying life.
No, he said he wanted to die working.
Well,
So, there you
if
go.
that's what makes him happy.
Yeah. He don't, he said, I
He
want
probably knows that's the only thing keeping him alive or staying
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah. He said, I want to die at the far end of the road. And he was telling his bookkeeper that one day, and she said, well, I don't know what you mean by that. He said, you don't know what I mean. I want to die working. I'll be at the far end of the row. I've gone. He had to draw him out. Yeah, we need another generation like that.
Look over here.
Yeah. Several people have been talking to him or whatever. I've got a little dog at home.
Do you?
Yeah. I have to have something to take care of.
Well, I got an uncle that lives up here at Paris Landing. I was fixing to go visit him. He's 93 years old. On my mother's side, it's her brother. And everybody else has done died, so I'm going to go up there and visit
Yeah.
with him because 93 years old, you know, you're
Well,
already...
if I see you again, I'll know you.
Absolutely.
I will say something to you.
Absolutely.
You come to Murray very much?
I do.
Good.
I sure do. You usually go to Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't go to Walmart very much. I sort of boycott that place. After Sam, my mother worked there.
Okay.
And when Sam died, everything changed.
Boy, didn't it though?
They was matching them with their investment shares that they bought. Sam would match whatever they wanted to buy.
Exactly.
Those kids got it. That stopped.
And now they've capped it. Capped it.
Yeah.
Put a ceiling on it where you don't got the
No.
benefit like you used to have.
No,
Yep.
no, my mother worked there for many years. She was still working when she was, I think she wanted to be working when she was 80, and she got close to it.
Did she
may
get
have
some
been-
stock in there?
Yeah, she did.
Couple hundred $100,000 or
Yeah.
something?
Well, any little bit helps.
Does today.
Yeah.
Man, take care of yourself. I like your Lincoln.
Thank you.
Good looking.
I like it.
I think.
It's the first Ford we've ever had,
I hear you.
and I like it.
Jack, you ready to go?
Jack got rested up pretty
He's ready to go, man.
well. Good luck to you. Yeah, we'll pray for you at church.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, we all need prayer. That's the only thing that gets us through.
Amen.
I do not know how to do it.
And that's probably the only reason why the Brad and John had done already come down towards taking us all out of here is because there is still hope.
You smell my dog on me?
Probably.
Mine's a York. He would use that one as a snack.
He's about a year old. He's just a puppy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just a puppy.
Yeah. Greg here and he's fixing to white every day. Take care.
Okay, you too. Don't let them get you.
Thank you.
Oh,